Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be exploring with you some of the features and uses for Google Classroom. Google Classroom is a paperless classroom environment that has become increasingly popular since its original release in August of 2014. Google Classrooms is a free web service created for schools to use as a paperless classroom environment specifically designed to make file sharing between teachers and students more efficient. When we click on the apps icon here, we can see what we have access to here on this platform. We can use Gmail for communication between students, parents, and teachers. We can use Google Drive here to connect educators to team drives by grade level, school, or district. We also have Google Docs, Sheets, and Slides here at our disposal, and Google Calendar. Google Calendar can be used for scheduling and planning. If you scroll down a bit, we will see even more apps we can use. This is Google Forms. This app can be used to create self-graded assessments or surveys. Here's the YouTube app. Recently, Google has launched advanced settings for all Google apps, the domains, to filter objectionable content that educators want to avoid. That is a big change that will make utilizing YouTube content much easier and faster. Now let's click over here on my classroom. We've come into my classroom here, Mrs. Best, Algebra 1, and here the first thing we'll notice is the class code, and this is the code that I will give my students to get them logged into my classroom. And you can see here in this box there are upcoming due dates for assignments. You can choose to view all or just the ones that are close to the top. Over here you can see there's also a quiz assigned. If we go up into the classwork button here, we can see where we create. And we can create an assignment, a quiz. You can do just a question for your students to ask. Attach material. You can reuse posts from other classroom environments that you've set up. If we wanted to create an assignment, we can click on this and we can say day 3 and put in the instructions. Read pages 10 through 12. Answer questions 1 through 10 on page 13. Now, right here, I can choose how many points I want to assign this. So if this is a homework assignment, it's only 10 questions. I'll probably make it like 30 points. Here I can tell it what day I would like this to be due on. And we'll go into October and we'll say Wednesday. And then we just click the assign button and our assignment jumps up. So we have class day 1, class day 2, and this is day 3. If we want to look at our Google Calendar, it will come up and show me. I can click on it on the day. So class day 1 assignment is due on Friday the 27th. I can come over here and look at class day on the 30th and see class day number 2 and what is due, and class day 3. All right. Now, there are so many different apps to use with this program. You can get lost pretty quickly and get overwhelmed. So I'm going to recommend what I did. I just Googled Google Classroom Teacher Center because I knew the Teacher Center existed, but I couldn't find it on the website. So I found it. And when you come to Teacher Center, you can click on Training. And then you can scroll through. There is a ton of information here. There's a fundamentals training, which I find very interesting. I think I want to do that one. But also, We look right, this one's called the first day of classroom. And if you click on this one, it'll bring you into a page where you have a video on the basics. So before you go into the full-blown first big training, come in here and do just the Classroom 101, how to get started. Come down into Teacher's Lounge. We'll see there are different videos to show you how to create different items within your classroom. How to create a new class, create an assignment, how to add students, how to create a quiz. If we go back and look at this, we looked at classwork here, but if I click on people, I don't have any students in my classroom. And that's because you need to put in emails of your students to add them, and that will invite them. And then that will help you generate your grades page also. So there is a wealth of knowledge here at Teacher Center. And this is just that one box that we clicked on here, the first day of Google. If we go into the fundamentals training, there's a lot more here to look at. Anyway, I hope that you have enjoyed this quick tutorial and look forward to showing you some more down the road in our project. Thanks.
The top 10 Google Classroom design wins and fails. We just finished talking about all the features and usages of Google Classroom. Now let's dig into those and see which ones really hit the mark and which ones have some areas for improvement. We've created a top 10 list for you with 5 wins and 5 fails for Google Classroom. So let's jump in and see what they are. Google Classroom. So first, our number one win is accessibility. Google Classroom is run through the Chrome browser, making it accessible on your computer, mobile phone, and tablets. You can add as many learners and teachers that you want. However, we found one of the design fails to be under account management. As you can see, I have more than one Google ID, so I have to choose which one I'm going to go into. So if you have more than one Google account, you may get frustrated juggling between the two accounts because you can't pull documents from each other's drive and put them into the other. You would have to save them onto your desktop to upload them to the other one. Now that we're in Google Classroom, let's talk about the number 2 design win, which is user-friendly interface. Google guiding principle is simplicity, simplicity, simplicity. It's all about being intuitive and the kind of 3 clicks or less approach to getting to a solution. So you can see this Google design throughout. As you see, I have just some tiles for some of the classes, very simple features being shown. The downside to this is that it's almost too Google-ish, right? So if someone's never used Google products before, they actually might have some trouble understanding the simplicity of it and what the icons do. So it would take some time for new Google users to get comfortable in this system, but also comfortable with the documents because they might be used to Microsoft and they'd have to learn how to convert those docs to Google Docs. So let's jump into one of my classrooms so we can talk about design win number 3, which is speedy creation of assignments. One of the coolest things is how quick you can make an assignment in Google. With a click, you can create assignments and within a matter of seconds, distribute it out to your class. So let's go through here and put this assignment in. We're gonna go, we can add things to it and then I can send it out later, save it or assign it. I'm gonna assign it. The assignment process has never been quicker or more effective. And learners can enjoy the same benefits because they can turn it back in just as easily. And you have immediate line of sight on who has turned it in and who is still working on it. Now, with that speediness, let's go to the flip side of that and talk about one of the fails. So here we have our stream, which is like the announcement board. As you can see that new assignment that I just quickly posted into Google. However, there is no automated updates within Google. So if I was a student and I was on this page, that post would not have popped up on my announcement stream unless I refreshed the page up here or I logged out and logged back in. So we feel that's a design fail that everything's so speedy within Google, it's speedy with edits on docs. We think that the automatic news feed should be just as automatic. Design win number 4 is all about communication and sharing. One of the greatest advantages of Google Classroom is Google Docs. These are online documents that can be shared with limitless amount of people and accessed immediately through their Google Drive if you share it with them. And if you edit your doc as the owner, then the edits will be received automatically into a new version for the people that have those docs. So no more emails sending out, this is the new updated version, and makes sharing so much easier. And here's my Google Drive. Here's a document, and this is where you would share. But this is where we also said it could be a flip side of it with group work. Sharing might be difficult with group work, especially for younger students, because of the complexity of the owner is the only one that has the sharing capabilities. And then they also have to understand which sharing option to give to each of the people. So if you're doing group work projects, it might be a little chaotic if the students are younger and shared with lots of people within their group. And lastly, number 5 is all about feedback and comments and how we interact with people in the Google Classroom environment. The win to it is that it's very easy to make comments in Google on docs, on assignments, on the announcement feed. Easy commenting makes for quick, real-time, effective feedback. The instructor can add comments. The learner can add comments. It's great two-way feedback system. Right here, I make a quick comment. What do I need to do? Sorry, my mouse jumped on me there. However, it is kind of stagnant. Even though it's quick and it's real time and it updates immediately, there is no discussion board. So we feel like one of the design fails in Google is that they're not utilizing all their Google products in the Google Classroom. And one of those is Google Hangouts because they have not integrated into Google Classroom yet, but it could really help their interaction model if they add Google Hangouts to it so that you can do discussion boards within your classes. So these are our top 10 design wins and fails. I hope you enjoyed hearing about them. We think Google Classroom is a great tool and it's really effective for saving time and being efficient and also organizing all the materials for the students and the teachers. So I hope you enjoyed our pro con strength weakness list.
When it comes to usability and sustainability, Google Classroom definitely meets both of those criteria. First of all, in context of sustainability, this is not a new program. Google Classroom is something that has been around for a while and definitely has taken hold in the education world and even beyond the education world. And it is something that is utilized frequently and has seen lots of upgrades and updates, not necessarily so much and so many that it becomes clunky or disjointed, but enough that it's becoming more refined. So it's definitely sustainable. And as far as accessibility goes, it is accessible through any browser that is connected to the internet, and it is accessible to basically anyone who is over the age of 13 can create an account. And a lot of school counties are now creating Google Suites for their teachers and creating Google Classrooms through that. So a teacher will have a Google Drive already set up, a Google Classroom already set up. Even if the county doesn't do that, though, Google is still a free program. It's something that can be used for free by a teacher. And so having a Google Drive and then connecting that to a Google Classroom is extremely beneficial to the teacher and to the students, and also to the parents and guardians. Another reason that Google Classroom is very accessible is other programs are beginning to sync themselves up with it. For instance, there's a program called Common Lit, and Common Lit is used mainly by English teachers, but also by other teachers. It has stories and poems and nonfiction articles with questions attached, and it will automatically, once you set an assignment, it will automatically share to Google Drive once prompted to do so. And so even other programs outside of Google Classroom are linking themselves up to Google Classroom. So it's becoming a thing. It's becoming something that teachers can rely on to do what they need to do. So it is definitely sustainable. It's been around long enough and has been accepted and incorporated by enough people that it is going to be around for a while. And it is definitely user-friendly. When you first go into Google Classroom, there are a lot of pop-up windows explaining how to do things. And once you navigate past those and start working with Google Classroom, even beyond that, you have you have help videos and other things that are accessible to you as an individual and also as a group. So Google Classroom definitely provides useful knowledge and is accessible for any level of tech expert.
Hello everyone, I'm going to be discussing how to integrate Google Classroom into a specific education. We're going to focus on implementing Google Classroom into a secondary classroom, such as 9th through 12th grades, not any specific content area, as it can be widely used. As my colleagues have shown you previously, there are many uses of Google Classroom, and how they apply to an actual classroom. Basically, you would be able to run your classroom through Google Classroom. This is a great place to put announcements. This is even especially useful for students who are absent, or if you want to have announcements throughout the week that are just there for students to reference in case they forget something you say in class. You are able to use the calendar to update when projects are going to be due, when tests are coming up, any other important school events can be put on there. You are also able to turn in assignments through Google Classroom, which especially for classes that involve papers is very useful, because instead of having to rely on hard copies, you can have a digital copy as well, and might then also be able to run that digital copy through a plagiarism check. It is also incredibly useful for parents and students. There is an app for Google Classroom, so you do not have to just rely on having a computer, as not every student and family might have a computer in the home, but many people do have phones. So there is an app for it. It's very useful for parent communication. Parents can also see the announcements and when things are due, and they can be constantly updated on what is going on in your classroom. For students, it is very easy to access. It is very easy to turn things in, and it's just very user-friendly, easy to navigate. For a district that is one-to-one already, many districts, especially smaller ones, or ones that are in not as affluent areas, are more likely to go with Chromebooks for becoming one-to-one as a district, because they are cheaper and lighter and have better battery life. So a Chromebook is already set to work with Google, including Google Classroom. It is also very good for students who are absent or even homebound due to illness or other reasons, because you can run the classroom through this online portal that can be accessed anywhere that there is internet. In our particular ISD, in our project, the point is that we are creating a webinar to learn how to use Google Classroom, and we thought, what better portal to deliver this webinar through than Google Classroom itself. So it will be an introduction for teachers that are either first-year teachers or new to the district that we've created. And through it, the new teacher gets the experience of both being a student and a teacher in the Google Classroom setting. They will attend the webinar in Google Classroom and have to submit screenshots and assignments through Google Classroom, but they will also be uploading documents and creating their own first classroom through the webinar. So they get to create as a teacher and experience the other side of that as a student as well.